Hello everyone, Big Friendly Wargamer back with another 40k Imperium unboxing. Now, I've got behind with these as I always do. I've had two lots of them sitting here for nearly half a month. I've probably got another 4 issues on the way, but I'm going to get stuck into these now. I'll put one video out today, which is Tuesday the 17th, and I'll put one out for Friday, so I'll get updated. Yeah, I've just fallen behind. I've just not really done them. So I've had other things going on with getting work and stuff. But anyway, so this one is issues 63, 64, 65, 66 and an extra. And then the next one will be 67, 68, 69 and 70. So 70, we're 20 issues away. So there's 5 more deliveries to come. And that's it, we're done. And whether I get on the next one or not, I don't know. We'll see. It depends what's in the collection. But we're going to dive into these ones now. I'll get these done. Set the camera up and start unboxing. Right, so we start with issue 63. Now, this is the start of like a set. As you can see, you get 5 models in here. So these are the Phobos Space Marines. I will try and zoom in on this. So they're quite nice. They're quite nice models, but they are single pose. You'll find a lot of this with Games Workshop now. So you've got a suppressor with the big autocannon there. You've got some infiltrators, I believe, which are the guys with the majority, the 3 guys, and then you've got a sniper guy, Eliminator I think they're called. That's his sniper rifle there. But yeah, so I'll put that to one side and we'll get stuck in looking into issue 63. So obviously telling you about the infiltrators. They're the primary squad in this batch, shall we say. So squads of 10. You can go squads of 5 to make them smaller, but there you go. Give them all names, of course. How to build just the models on the sprue that you got with this issue. All 5 of them. And then obviously how to paint them in Ultramarine colours. Yeah, they're called Vanguard Space Marines. Using all the paints you've got so far, I would assume. It's going to be quite a big painting section, this, I think. Yeah. So it's showing you how to do some digital camo as well, which is pretty good. How to paint all the Eliminator eyes and everything. So there's quite a big painting guide there. So this is rules for the Eliminator squad. And then tutorials, how they work on the battlefield. Rules for the infiltrators and the suppressors. And obviously how they work on the battlefield as well. The scenario is called Critical Resupply and the mission is called Weapons Drop. So that is issue 63. Right, so issue 64 is going back to Necrons. Now, we've seen this sprue before. This is the same sprue as the Immortals, but it's supposed to make 5 death marks in this issue. So you're going to be using the sniper rifles rather than the Tesla or the Gauss weapons. So you'll be using these weapons instead. And these are like quite thinner models than the actual Immortal models. So this will make 5, I believe. So I'll put that away. And then issue 64. So as you can see on the front, we've got death marks. Nice bent issue that I've got. Strange talking about Necron death marks. The sniper assassins. They're not as good as they were in previous editions. They're a bit lame, to be honest. Now, how you can name them and everything. Going to talk about Watch Captain Artemis for the Death Watch. He's basically a Space Marine captain, but for the Death Watch. Death Watch are a special group of Space Marines who hunt Xenos. Then talking about Ortan Cassius, who's a chaplain for the Ultramarines. They're talking about Space Marine special characters now. Then moving on to the war zones, it's the first Tyrannic War. So when the Tyranids first entered the galaxy. And going on to talk about the battle for Macragge. Then obviously how to build your death marks. And how to paint your death marks. So the painting guys will be gradually getting bigger and bigger because obviously there's more paints. Rules for Space Marines, different deployment abilities, so how they work, the combat squads and stuff like that. Necron rules, just general rules of the Necrons. So talking about Royal Court, Dimensional Translocation, Living Metal, and how they all work in game. Then obviously rules for the death marks, the tutorial of how they work in battle. The scenario is called A Rallying Cry, and the mission is actually called Rallying the Troops. And that is issue 64. Now issue 65 is another big sprue. It's the middle sprue for the Primaris Vanguard Space Marines. So you get, again, a mixture of everything. So you're getting the sergeants and stuff in here. I think you've got a lieutenant model on here as well. I could be wrong. I believe that's the lieutenant model there. So let's have a bit of a better look. So yeah, so that's the suppressor autocannon, and you got the eliminators, sniper rifle and stuff. So yeah, so making quite big squads of these now, and then on to issue 65. Straight into talking about lieutenants in Phobos armor. So that's the model I believe is on that sprue, the lieutenant. And then you can name his weapons and everything. Talking about Space Marine special characters like we were last issue as well. Going on to talk about Logan Grimnar, who's the leader of the Space Wolves, and Ragnar Blackmane, who's basically a captain, a Space Wolf captain. Moving on to talk about Space Marine vehicles, and that's a nice picture of a Blood Angels Dreadnought, or a Redemptor Dreadnought I believe. So they're just talking about Dreadnoughts. So because this is all Primaris aimed, they're only talking about the Redemptor and the Invictus Warsuit. There are other Dreadnoughts. Then obviously how to build your Vanguard Space Marines, and then on to how to paint them again, showing you how to mark out the Ultramarine sergeants with red helmets, and how to paint smoke grenades, which is pretty cool. It's telling you how you can fix errors with when you're painting and stuff, and that's how the models you should have up to now with the Phobos armor. Giving you rules for the lieutenant in Phobos armor and how he works in game. And the scenario is called Opening the Tomb, and the mission is called Breaking the Seal. And then we got one of these pullouts. So it's the War for Rasmus again. There's a nice fold out thing. You got Necron stuff there, and then you've got some of the Ultramarine bits right there, and that is issue 65. So on to issue 66. Now this sprue is the same as we saw for issue 63. It's exactly the same sprue, it makes the same models. So we'll just put that to one side and jump straight into issue 66. Telling you about the Suppressor Squad. They're actually really nice models. I actually really like them. I do have 3 already, which now I'll have 6. So I don't know if you can have squads of 6, but anyway, get to name all your Marines. How eliminators look like, what they do, the snipers obviously. So you got one guy from each sprue and the sergeant, and you can name all of them as well. Talking about the second Tyrannic War, when the second wave of Necrons came into the galaxy, and Battle for Ikaar 4, which was a global campaign that they did back in 1993, I think, and they wrote it into the history. And the Doom of Illidan, which was the fall of Eldercraft world. Moving on to talking about factions, Chaos Knights, some of their household heraldry. Moving on, going back to talking about Space Marine characters, and this is Captain Lysander of the Imperial Fists. He's in Terminator armour, he's got Thunder Hammer and a Storm Shield. And then Tor Garadon, who is their Space Marine captain, who they've released a model for him now. He's in Phobos, he's in Gravis armour, he's Primaris guy. So quite a nice model, never got around to getting it though. I don't own Imperial Fists anymore. So stories, they're talking about the City of Death. Quite a nice story. I have to read some of this at some point. How to build your Vanguard Marines. So this is identical as the issue 63. And no painting guide, which is strange, but there you go. Space Marine rules, Angels of Death. This is part 2. And how the rules work in game. The scenario is called The Battle Below, and the mission is called Subterranean Warfare. Now, since this is the last one of this batch, I'll just show you what's coming. So, issue 67, we got 2 paints, which that one I don't have. The Tesseract Glow. Okay, so I'll give that a go on something, I'm sure. And we've got Canoptic's Wraith, and that is issue 66. But in this batch, we do have a little extra. So, this is Inquisitor Greyfax. So, put the base to one side, and I'll just do it's quite a small model. It is, the Inquisitors are humans, they're not Space Marines or anything. So she's got a nice top hat, stiletto heels, and she's got a bolter which has a crossbow attached to it. It's kind of weird, but it makes quite a nice model. So I'll put that to one side, and we'll jump into the little mini issue that comes with her. Now, I don't know what's in this. I've not looked at this before until now. So, obviously giving you details on Inquisitor Greyfax. You can see the top hat. She's got a shotgun behind on her back, I believe, and that's her bolter / crossbow. You can... Yeah, so they've obviously filled all this in because she's a special character. They've filled all that details in for you. Then you got the how to build her. She's quite a simple build. It's not a particularly big model. And then I've got pages that are stuck together. How to paint her. So you go from base coats. So this is the first time that they've shown you how to go through and paint a complete model, because this is a limited edition. This is like they do with the books and stuff. You can opt out. Well, I haven't opted out of anything for this lot. So putting down base colours, and then moving on to, well, it's still base colours. There's a lot of base colours on this model. Shading. And then relayering, edge highlighting, more edge highlighting, and more edge highlighting. And then talking about doing the eyes and basing. And that's what she should look like, something like that. Now, obviously, you don't have to paint her like that. You paint her as you like. So, and then you've got a nice background so you can photograph her on. Saying that you should fold the page down the middle, which kind of you don't want to do because it's on the back of painting guide, but there you go. That's really weird that they've done it there. And then you've got her rules. So the rules should be, there should be another page. And then how to photograph your models, which is useful. Yeah. Right, so there you go. That is the unboxing of issues 63, 64, 65 and 66. So hopefully that's been useful to someone. There's a lot of Space Marines in there, and a little bit of Necrons. If these videos have been any of use to you, please, in the description below you'll find links to my Instagram page and my Facebook page. It's where I post what I'm painting, what I'm building and stuff like that. Where in videos you only get still shots, you do in my Instagram page generally. So, and thank you very much. I will catch you again in the next unboxing of 40k Imperium. Bye bye.